Chapter 19 Guesswork. For a couple of minutes Bouncer simply stared abjectly into space. Inside he was considering what exactly he had just been a part of, but on the outside he looked like a toy whose batteries had run out. "Bouncer, Bouncer, come on, wake up please," pleaded Graham as he shook his best friend. What are you doing, Graham?" asked Bouncer as he responded to the harsh love his friend was showing him. "Oh my gosh, thank you Bouncer, you're okay," replied Graham. "Of course I'm okay, what did you think was wrong with me?" asked Bouncer. "Well, judging by how you were just sitting there, with a 1,000-yard stare, I wasn't limiting my options to anything in particular." "What do you mean?" asked Bouncer. "You were catatonic, Bouncer, like you were paralyzed," replied Graham. "Don't be silly, I was just thinking about the beautiful blue halo thingy." "What, for 5 minutes?" asked an exasperated Graham. "There's no way it was that long, it was just a minute, probably not even that," protested Bouncer, quite convinced it had been but seconds. "Look, I was standing here the entire time, you were as still as a statue." "Okay, I'm not going to argue, but did you see it? It was amazing, there were people in it, it was like a TV picture, clearer in fact. I could have reached out and touched them." Bouncer was retelling the story to himself as much as explaining it to Graham. Over the next 5 minutes Bouncer returned more and more to himself. Finally Graham got a chance to ask him. "What do you think it was?" asked Graham once again now he was sure his friend was back. Bouncer had clearly been thinking about, so when he finally answered the question he sounded very convinced. "I am sure the solarium is a power source for a device that is capable of viewing places at a distance. What we saw was a result of our nanotech. These experiments must use some form of machine, we have to find it. With it we may be able to simply reach into places, like a bank vault, without any need to go anywhere near it. It would be the making of us." It was Graham's turn to sit and digest everything. "So you think we can go on a bank robbing spree without ever being at risk of being caught?" "At the very least, yes. That and probably much more. I think the world may be our oyster," laughed Bouncer. "Right then," agreed Graham. "Let's try and find it then." As Bouncer and Graham were moving closer to locating the portal generator and ultimately flicking the switch, Dr. Robert and Helen were coming to the end of their wait, while the particle accelerator charged. The determined tendrils of fate were weaving their merry tapestry, a pattern that would see Bouncer and Graham's portal generator turn on in one dimension as Dr. Robert and Helen would rerun their experiment. The resultant portal would be proof for Bouncer that what they had found was a power beyond their dreams, a power that could make their dreams become a reality. The harmonic synchronization would be proof that Dr. Robert's hypothesis was correct and multiple perfectly timed portal events would be capable of tearing holes in the fabric of space-time. The resultant, combined power output from both events would finally become the nexus point Deli had been searching for. For the poor building maintenance team in Sebastian's office on Earth number 1 it could well be a very alarming few minutes.